Hey guys, Kuzo here, back with another stream. Good to see everyone. I'm going to be shooting up some social medias. The links is for the stream, for those of you who are going to catch it live from the other platforms that do not have their notifications turned on, which you should. I'm not kidding, actually, you should. Alright, got the Instagrams and now the tweeter twatter. Posted that. And we're all good. Alright, so let's make sure. Alright, cool. We are on the right link. Okay, cool. That is Noise Art. Thank you very much. Good to see everyone rolling in. What's up, Yvonne Whirl? What's up, The Killer Artist? What's up, Bella? What's up, King Green? What is up, Garth? What is up, Left for ZZ? Or is it Z's? What's up, Macaroon? What is up, Ekwetsart? I am not pronouncing that name. Everyone probably knows the name. It's What's up, Box Drawing YouTube? What is up, Lila? What is up, everyone rolling in? Alright, let's get started with some inking. Oh, this is also the thumbnail. This was a sketch I did for the thumbnail specifically because I didn't think this was thumbnail like material. The way it wouldn't fit very well on a thumbnail, so I just did a traditional sketch for the thumbnail. Alright, let's see, what am I going to do? I'm going to turn this down. I actually have whiteouts here on specific layers so you guys don't see any spoilers. I have a few panels that I want to try to get done inking, and I can't show you the other ones that I've inked based on the other pages we're going to go to too, because I can't show you those spoilers. So 41 people in here. Good to see everyone. What's up, Christian? What is up, Alexis? What is up, Ghost Hat Animation? Sorry, Kuzo, for the hard name. It's all good. What program are you using? It is Clip Studio Paint on the iPad Pro. Alright. Let's get inking. So maybe I can do just some traditional sketching. There's a video I kind of want to record. I don't know if I'll record it tonight or tomorrow, but there's a video I want to record. It's a super standard video, just to kind of get the ball rolling with videos on the main YouTube channel again. But it's always good to not have like super high expectations of like coming back to something, because if you do, sometimes you put too much pressure on yourself. It's always good to get the ball rolling first. It's better than not doing anything. One of the problems with one of the big problems I should have planned for with content for inking and drawing panels was I should have planned ahead and recorded myself inking and drawing panels from the first chapter of this, because now once it launches I can't just go ahead and show you guys, like I can't show you guys like currently inking panels unless they're like super not important. But most of the time the cool panels to do for YouTube videos are the ones that are more so spoiler heavy, you know, like action scenes and stuff like that, or just impactful scenes in general. Wow, this is, the inking on here is next tier bad. I am very much so failing on the inking on these. I don't like some of these. Up close, they look kind of bad. I know from far away, they'll probably look a little better because they're going to be viewing it all the way about here on your phone. So I honestly think this should go in a tiny bit more. What's up, Jordy Wolf? Oh, hey, what's up, Cream Manga's up in the chat. What's up, Cream Manga? Hey, Kuzo, just asking, where did you learn how to draw arms and legs? That's something that just kind of comes through, well, I learned how to draw arms and legs from studying them from from Pinterest. But the base to actually really learning how to draw those things is learning the fundamentals of how to even draw like shapes in like form and perspective. That's the base to being able to draw those things. You could technically get by without knowing those basics too far in depth, but the risk of that is you possibly ending up learning how to draw it incorrectly, and then you'll have to reteach yourself later on, which was a mistake that I made. So yeah, you want to learn those fundamentals because it'll make it much easier to learn how to do that stuff. Because like arms, super simple, just 3 stages here. That's an arm. 3 stages there. That's like the simplified version of an arm. You take that simplified version of an arm and then you turn it down and then you go over it. You can end up getting something, once you study the anatomy. Of course, this isn't perfect anatomy. My anatomy still needs work quite a bit. But yeah, that's the basic idea of it. I know I moved the arm there to make it less stiff. I made it more organic feeling. Here, let's just go straight down like I did there. There. That's kind of the idea. And same goes for legs. Basically, you have to, learning the 3D shapes will help you be able to work on them with form in perspective, and then almost using the anatomy as an overlay, something that you kind of like put on top of it. Can you do a hand tutorial? I'm really struggling, please. You know, I might do these like small tutorials, to be honest, in some YouTube videos. For real. I might go ahead and do them in YouTube videos for people. Because these are like really simple things I haven't really gone into in YouTube videos. And they wouldn't be very hard to do. For those of you who are available to go to my Patreon, I do have stuff like this on my Patreon. You know what, actually, maybe I'll do like a hand sheet for my Patreon. So that way I can actually, when I do like a, yeah, I need to start doing stuff like that. Sorry, I was thinking in my head, like for example, if I do a specific head tutorial on my YouTube channel, what I could do was then, once that YouTube video goes live, I can have actual anatomy sheets of that specific thing that I kind of shown in the YouTube video on my Patreon to stay. These are the things I only really think about art. I often don't think too much about the business aspect of it. That's why I never really consider myself a YouTuber, more so a guy that just draws and puts stuff on YouTube. Is this centered? I don't want to go too far off the center here. Let's get this centered, so I need to draw in this area. Okay, 75 people in here. Good to see everyone. 41 likes. Remember, hit that like button. It's free, and it also helps boost the chat. Not chat, but it helps boost the video. Have you ever used Clip Studio 3D models before? No, I have not. I actually tried playing around with them one time just because I was like, what are these? But I've never actually used them. I couldn't even get an organic feeling pose. I bet you could if you played around with it enough. I just never have. And I mean, I personally kind of encourage learning the anatomy on your own, learning how to do that stuff on your own. But I know that's a big thing that's starting to really creep into the industry, and it has for years. People have like templates and stuff like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. For example, character design, having templates of a specific stance, it makes the designing process more fluent because you can just go ahead and focus on designing and not have to focus on getting that pose completely correct in some cases. Of course, I feel like it would bring more variety to a sheet if you were able to. You should have a certain understanding of poses still, instead of just going based off sheets. But that's character design. Like manga, there's a bunch of different poses you have to learn anyways. Manga or web comics or whatnot. Seemed like a lot of people like the web comic talk. In the last stream, I got a lot of comments saying that they really enjoyed that the whole topic and conversation. I'm glad I didn't get any like elitists saying anything weird like you're wrong, because it was just a discussion. That's the whole point. Because I don't know if I was right or not. I could be wrong for all I know. Oh, don't want to miss the super chat here. Okay, so I got a super chat from Lift for Z's. I didn't say ZZ this time. Z's. Thank you very much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Hey Kuzo, thanks. Thanks to your tips. My drawings have gotten slightly better. I still struggle with extreme poses and some perspective. Extreme poses, you're talking about like pushing the anatomy and like dynamic poses. Yeah, those can be hard, and you have to. Those kind of poses, it comes into basically like, it depends on how dynamic you want to go with it, but learning fisheye lens helps with that a little bit. But in general, even if it's not fisheye lens, just doing like more extreme poses, it's kind of what they call like pushing the pose, instead of having it feel a little like this, jumping or something like this, you know. We could go ahead and it's almost like you once you start learning a lot of the 3D shapes and stuff like that, you can do this while you're learning 3D shapes and perspective. Go into it with a little bit more gesture. And so you can look up how to do like gesture drawings and stuff like that, and it might help you, but pushing this pose just a little bit more could help. So it's pretty much, it's almost the same, but I pushed the pose a little bit more in the center. I could have pushed it even more. I lifted this up even more, the legs here. I try to get more of a gesture line here. Of course, I could even do something like pushing the pose where I take the leg and pull it up even more here for a little bit more variety to the pose. This is also a really weird jumping pose. I don't know what he's trying to aim at here, but wow, I really have to go all the way back. But thank you very much for the super chat again. I really appreciate it, and also I'm glad some of my stuff's been helping you out. Let's go down. Should you learn to draw regular anatomy before anime anatomy? Not particularly. Hey, what's up? Thank you very much for the super chat, Cree. I really appreciate it. Like always, loving the inks. Thank you very much. Always gotta try to keep them looking at least decent. I wish. Okay, yeah, I'm on the right layer. You don't particularly have to learn like real anatomy before you learn anime anatomy. It's kind of like saying, does a cartoonist have to know real anatomy in order to know how to draw cartoons? No, a lot of them learn how to draw very simplified shapes in order to make some sort of, stylized character that, like, for example, Mario. You don't have to know how to draw realistic anatomy to know how to draw Mario, but you do have to know how to draw forms. Like, you have to be able to understand forms, but depending on how far you want to go, and how good you want to get, and especially the type of style you want to go for, learning the basics of realistic anatomy in the long run will help you a lot. But yeah, form is really what matters most, I guess you could say. I can't put my finger on one or the other, but if you learn how to draw form, you can learn how to draw regular anatomy after that. Because learning anatomy without understanding form, anatomy is going to be very hard to get accurately. But yeah. I actually need to continue inking and not take too many questions. Did you study art at an academy or a university? No, I did not. Your inking is amazing. Thank you very much, Echo Wassart. We got 91 people in here. Good to see everybody with 71 likes. Thank you very much for the likes. They're free. I've always thought about if I should go a little bit cleaner with some of my line art, and I actually might talk to my team about that, or the team. Not my team, the team. I'm just going to say the team. Because, I don't know, a lot of webcomics have a much cleaner line art style, but mine is much more manga oriented. Like, when you zoom out, it doesn't look that bad, but when you zoom in, there's tiny little pieces, and I leave that stuff because it makes it look more organic. It makes it look more like a manga. If you zoom up on a manga page, it has those little parts to it. And I noticed that when I first scanned in some of my traditional manga pages, and I zoomed up on it, and I was like, oh, it looks like this, and I created my manga pen based on how my traditional inks looked like up close, like scanned in digitally. And that's kind of where I got the idea to go a little bit more messy with it. And when I say messy, it's not like when I zoom out, it doesn't look that messy. But I've been wondering if I should go a little cleaner like the webcomic style, or if this is maybe a part of the personality of the series. I don't know. Something to think about. Because styles of things always, develop and change as, series go on, and you figure out what works and what people like more or less. I love the organic style. Yeah, and I was kind of trying to keep it at home, like what I'm used to, and the whole reason why someone would want to kind of look at what I draw anyways. Like my fan base. Man, my iPad earlier, my other iPad, this is actually working smoother than my other iPad. Earlier, my other iPad just had a tiny bit of this like slight lag to the brush for a little while, and it eventually stopped, but it was very frustrating. I was like, what? Come on now. I'm not a huge fan of this song. I love a bit messy. Inks clean inking is not fun. It's not as fun. It's true. I think there's a bit of satisfaction to both. They both have their own place, for sure. Do you think stylized is better than realism or vice versa? I think they both have their own place in the world. I do not think realism is better than stylized, and I do not think stylized is better than realism. Anyone who thinks otherwise is... I used to be that stylized anime elitist person, and I learned that that's stupid. That's very close-minded, and it hurts you as an artist long run. So it's better to be more open-minded about things and understand that everything has its own place. Abstract art, as much as I disagree with some of the ideas of art being completely like abstract being what it is and can it actually be art, it still has its own place in the world, despite my feelings of it. And I understand that, because some of it is beautiful, some of it I'm like, I don't know if this dot on a canvas should be $3 million, but probably money laundering. Oh, that was a very bad line. Let's just, I was looking at my stream. Sometimes I have to go and look at my stream after I do it for a second. And I was looking at my stream. I noticed I was just like playing around with my lines because I'm talking so much while I'm drawing, instead of being... When I'm talking a lot when I'm drawing, I'm a less... I wouldn't say accurate. I am less accurate, but I do less... man, I stayed too close in. I should have done something more like this. It's too flat. I'm gonna fix this. But I use less flowy lines. I'm gonna shut up here for a second. I don't want that to land right there. I was about to have the line land right where this was, and that would look very bad. I'm inking a little bit too high for you guys. That would have looked really bad. Never want there to be like... that's not really a tangent, but they connected weirdly. Directly on the tip. It makes it look weird. It reads weird when you just look at it on a glance. All right, let me look at some chat here. I got 118 people in here. Good to see everybody with 95 likes. Money laundering. Yeah. In your opinion, how to draw the neck and shoulders in perspective? That's a hard one. Hi, I'm watching from school. Oh, geez. Geez there. 685. You're alive. Yes, I'm alive. Amazing line quality. Thank you. You got the style. What about your backgrounds? You need to make that work. Don't know what you mean there. Have you seen... people think I can't draw backgrounds or something. Like, I'm utterly confused. Like, I just don't understand. People think I don't... Oh, shit. I mean, shoot. That's one of the first slips you guys heard me make. Here. See? Like, this is Bounty's Gate. I mean... felt like 1.5 billion people in this panel. Backgrounds here, backgrounds there, there's a background there, there's a background there, there's a background here. Oh, shouldn't be showing you guys every single panel here, but whatever. Yeah, I can draw backgrounds. There's some backgrounds in my some of my other mangas I'm actually pretty proud of. There's one in here that I wanted to show. Can't find it. Oh well. Oh yeah, like we have these little backgrounds behind here too. What? Here's the thing. If you know perspective, you know how to draw backgrounds. You just don't know how to draw the items in the backgrounds yet. So what do? If you actually know how to draw in perspective, like draw perspective, you just go and look at other things, other backgrounds, and pick up bits and pieces of those backgrounds. And you're not copying backgrounds, but you're taking in the information of the little things that are there, like grass or cracks or how to draw the bricks or the window seals, and then the parts that come, the protrusion of the window or the receding of the window. Like, you look into these things. Perspective is really just the rule, and you're drawing all these tiny little things in it. Drawing backgrounds is actually much easier than drawing people. It's just more tedious, I would have to say, in my opinion. Which my opinion is right. Okay. But in this case, I feel like once you learn how to draw backgrounds, a lot of people would probably agree. Once you learn how to draw backgrounds, you're like, backgrounds are easier than drawing people. They're just much more tedious because there's a bunch of tiny little things you have to do. For people, there's so many things that can go wrong. From like just gesture, anatomy, stiffness, you know, stuff like that. Where do you post your manga? This, so my manga's not actually out yet, but this is going to be webtoons, not web. This is going to be a web comic posted on Voice Me, and I'm gonna have to start putting like links in the description, but I'm gonna actually have a link to the series once we launch it in the description, so that way you guys can check it out that way, and that would be a little easier. But it's gonna be launching on Voice Me. You can find them on Instagram, Twitter, or their actual website, which is where it will be. I know it will be weekly. I don't like, this looks not very fluent. I don't like that. I might have to sketch that in. My hand looks a little iffy. Just so I don't, I need to stop inking up towards the top here. Maybe I should pull this down even more, just so we avoid that. How do you get your lines to be so light when drawing traditionally? Light? Oh, that's just draftsmanship. You just draw less hard. That's really what it is. You just gotta learn line weight. Yes, I'm gonna cheat here. Sometimes when I cheat like this, do like quick cheats like this, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I have to redo it. I think this is good enough. I was afraid it might be too like inward. Might make it feel weird. Alright. This is the part I hate the most, is drawing these things. The chest lump plates. It's kind of difficult for me. But good thing is, I can do this, and there's going to be an arm swooshing right here, so I don't have to make it perfectly round. Is this a different manga project? Haven't seen you on here in a while. This is a manga project called, or it's a webcomic project called Bounty's Gate. Gosh, I'm getting everything mixed up. It's a webcomic project called Mad Kate, and it is going to be published with Voice Me weekly. Alright. Oh my goodness. Do you like to draw slow or fast? I don't really mind here. Hey, what's up, Mixter D? Thank you very much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it, like always, for real. Thank you very much. And what program did you use? I use Clip Studio Paint. Do you like to draw fast or slow? I think both have their own place if you're trying to learn. I particularly like to draw slower. To draw fast, you're either going to do it... Okay, to draw fast, you're going to have to know what you're drawing. But, yeah, to draw fast, you're going to want to know what you're doing, or else you're just going to kind of hurt yourself and get frustrated, and it's going to not look so good. To learn, draw slow. Because if you can do it slow, you can slowly start to get it faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And there's also something to be said where you could draw something slower than someone else but be more accurate. And so there's a big problem when you're more of a beginner artist where you have to redraw something over and over again, right? Because you don't know what you're drawing necessarily. Like you have a hard time drawing that specific thing, and you have to redraw it over and over again. Now, I remember thinking to myself, man, this panel would have taken me, like, instead of 40 minutes, it could have taken me, like, 15 minutes if I made just... So I noticed that everything that I was drawing on a body, I would have to redraw it, like, 5 times. If I got that down to either 0 mistakes or 1 mistake, it would cut down the time of everything. Even with inking. Instead of trying to go really fast and doing this and then doing this and then doing this and then doing this and then try to be a little bit more conscious and accurate to what you're doing, it cuts down the time. And if you also do that, you end up becoming more confident in those lines, slowly but surely. Because if you can do it accurately but slow, you can eventually do it fast if you have to. You kind of have to work on that skill, but it is possible. Especially if you're learning how to do it more accurate with less tries, because your brain is able to take that information and download it a little bit more firmly, because it's like, I'm doing this line correctly. I'm doing this line correctly. It's working. It's working. Oh, hey, what's up, Drawn Drex? Drex. It's probably Drex, not Drex. Drex. Drawn Drex. Thank you very much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, bro. You're a major factor of my growth as an artist. That's great to hear. And thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I really do. Like always. Please upload tutorials. I do have a bunch of tutorials on my Patreon. I will be doing like more simple tutorials on my main YouTube channel that are like just normal tutorials, smaller ones. I don't know, YouTube's been in a really weird space where I don't know what content to necessarily make on there, because I've done a bunch of content on there already, and I'm not really necessarily feeling like being in the business of the current art content that is being popular on YouTube. So I'm kind of in a weird space, so maybe I should just do my own thing. Which I have been. That's why I've been doing a lot of the stuff on this channel. Got 150 people in here. Dang, guys. Thank you very much. When will the webcomic be dropped? So, I will say something did change. I did say by the end of this month, we will be having it launch next month. I can't say when, but we had two options, and we decided to go with another one, and basically, yeah, you guys will see. You guys will see. Don't worry. We are at 35 minutes. Really, only 35 minutes? Wow. I feel like it's been longer than that. You like making stories with a gate in it, right? No, I did not make the title or the story for Mad Gate. I made Bounty's Gate a while ago. I did not make. I'm just the artist for Mad Gate. One of the artists. I'm the lead artist. Okay, how am I gonna? I just want to make sure Okay, I'm gonna bring the arm down like this. The arm is moving, so. Horrible. I don't really like this song either. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to slowly like do this and then go like that. And you can see that right now I'm trying to actually save time by, like last time I wasn't comfortable with some of the things that I was inking. So I did like a more final sketch underneath. For this one, I've been inking her like all day. So I'm a little more comfortable inking her right now. So I'm kind of going in I'm going all in. I'm inking from this, and then we're getting this. So, and then I can also turn this off behind it. So it's a lot more clean compared to the sketch, as you can see. Okay, I need to turn that down again. Okay. More coffee, I say. First live you've made it to? Well, thank you very much for making it in there, Giovanni. Hey, what's up, Louie? Would you ever publish in Saturday AM? I actually was published with them at one point. So this is just a massive coincidence. Yes, it is, actually. They're talking about the gate part. Hi, Kuzo, just dropped in again. Just wanted to say that your art is amazing and is definitely a big inspiration for me to continue art as a hobby. That's awesome to hear. Thank you very much. Keep it going. Hello, Nijuro. Good morning to you. How much do you get paid for your art? I'm trying to become a manga artist myself, but the income is my biggest worry. That is always a big worry. Depends on how good you are, how hard you work, and what you're willing to price yourself based on the actual quality of your work. If you're good, you can price it higher. If you have enough of a fan base, you can. So, for example, I get paid a certain amount from the like industry work that I do, like this, and other things like if I were to do like app stuff. Basically, the biggest thing I would have to say for an artist who's trying to make a living and they're doing it through the primary starting point of not sending in applications, they're doing it, you're saying manga, so you're not going to have any industry that's going to want a manga per se that is viable currently. Actually, go watch the last live stream, and I actually had a huge conversation about the industry in the West. There's no real viable option for a full-on jump-in career as a manga artist. It's just too small at the moment. But a lot of the people who do have some success with that type of stuff is they're essentially artists online, and they're freelance artists. So they go ahead, they do their passion project, they get some following on social media, they post on social media, and you can end up doing prints. You can get monetized type of income from doing Twitch or YouTube, and from there you can also get commissions, and that is how you make your living currently as a freelance artist in the West. I don't know where you live, but yeah. You can also get like character designing jobs for like apps and stuff like that. The better you get and the bigger you become on social media. I've gotten numerous character designing stuff and job requests from application, like anime stylized applications. Actually, one of my first bigger commissions, like years ago, when I wasn't even that big on YouTube. I think I was at like 2,000, maybe even less than that on YouTube, and maybe I might have been a little bit over 2,000, and it was an app company that was making like a card game based app that was kind of like Pokemon, and yeah, I was one of the team trying to design some of the promotional art. Do you have any alternative tablet recommendations to the iPad? Not particularly. I want to actually try to get a chance to get a review unit or something, or just do something for you guys, because I get that question a lot. I've recommended the iPad to many people, and everyone who's got it has loved it. If that was an option that you could get, since it works almost as a computer and a tablet, it's definitely worth it. But I know some people don't have enough money for that, but if you're looking for a decent tablet, here's the problem. You're going to be looking at in the range of, so the tablets are like $200. They're not decent, I would say. For example, this is the biggest problem with the cheaper tablets. If we go ahead and do this, it's the pressure sensitivity. So right here, I am just I'm not even holding it. It's touching the screen. Its activation is literally right when it touches the screen. So a lot of these tablets that you get, their initial activation force that's what I call it, the initial activation of the pen when you touch the screen is much higher. You have to push a little harder for it to actually activate, and I don't like that, because this feels a lot more traditional. It gives you a lot more variety, and I'm a person that likes to be able to have the full spectrum. Like, see this? I'm hardly touching the screen at all. See that? It's getting so thin that that's not it breaking the line. That's because I have it pixelized. See, they're just pixels. If I were to go here, it would fill in those lines. But yeah, basically the pen plus the iPad for the price is the reason why it's so popular is because it by far so much better than the competition, the quality. But if you I don't have a recommendation. I've heard some Huions are good, so I would recommend. There's a guy named Brad. Just look at Brad tablet reviews, and he has a lot of really good tablet reviews on his YouTube channel. He has like budget tablet reviews too, and he also talks about the initial like activation of touching the screen, He also talks about that because a lot of people were worried about that because some artists are different than others. For example, painters, that's not going to be much of a problem for some painters. That's going to be, my dog's in here. That's not going to be much of a problem for painters. More so, inkers that are a little bit more sensitive to like pressure, it is a bit more of a problem. But not all cheaper alternatives have that problem. Most of the tablets around the $200 range will have that problem. Oh, I think my dog left. Thank you very much for the super chat there, Colin Clark. Hopefully I said that right. Callum? I call you Colin. Hopefully it's probably Callum, right? Sorry about that, but thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it, like always, to everyone who does that. Thank you very much. You say hi. I say hi. I'm really loving your style. Thank you very much, Master Tune. What application is this? It's Clip Studio Paint. Learning perspective is hard. Yes, it is, but it's worth it. That's very cool. Art and card games can be fun. Yes, it can be. That's good to hear. I'm good, just chilling with Louisa. Okay, just chilling. Just you guys having your little conversations. Okay, let's get back to drawing. We got 163 people in here with 185 likes. These are very, very chunky fingers. I'm just gonna say style. I should make them more womanly. There's gonna be some like blur, a slight blur effect on them too. I've been inking this for way too long currently. Way too long. My goodness. This is not cool. How do you find the face ratio of what you're drawing and studying? Well, I don't know. There's a lot of different techniques. It's kind of like generalized ratios is you can go ahead and do, this is a triangle ratio thing I do, and it's like, where's the nose? This is a ratio that I do a lot, and it's a very it's a ratio like this, and it's very, very anime. You got the mouth down here, nose right here, eyes, and that's a very anime ratio. Now if you go over here and you do a longer triangle, there's other ways to find ratios too, but this is just like a really very loose way of doing it. So if you go longer, this is going to create a face. I'm going to make the eyes thinner because this is a type of face style with this long part. Got a longer nose. This creates a longer face. Creates a different face style here. And that's kind of a simple, more loose way of finding a face ratio. So, and you can kind of roughly gauge where the nose and mouth is and stuff like that. That's my first way of learning how to do it. There's also a lot more like technical measurement ways of doing it too, but which I started using when I started learning more realism. So that is one thing to keep in mind. It's not like I learned realism a lot, like really well, but I studied it so that way I could figure out some stuff and values. And you don't have to learn realism for values, but it does help a lot when it comes to certain things. And like one thing that I harp on is these animators that do like crazy animations. I've mentioned this before in my last stream. You'd be quite surprised at how much realism they've probably studied in order to get what they actually have in their stylized versions. They probably studied quite a bit, because you'll see like animators that are like online like post like studies that were clearly from like real people. You know, I actually have the option to play this music directly to you guys instead of through my computer, because right now it's playing on my computer and you guys are picking it up through the microphone. I actually have the option to play this the other way, but I just don't. I could probably get the audio to sound a lot better that way. But then I'm over here without any music. I could put headphones in. Did you go to school for art? I did not. Can you make an eye tutorial? I actually have one on YouTube. You can draw how to draw eyes. Kuzomari. And it should show up. Hey Kuzo, how are you doing so far? I'm here for the stream. Awesome, good to hear, boss. Thank you very much for joining in. Welcome to the fun, or the chillness. You experimented with fisheye lens perspective lately? No, not particularly, but it is one of the more fun. I don't know why I was stuttering. That's what happens when you just start short circuiting when you're on stream for a little bit too long. You're like, but no, that is one of the more fun things to actually do. I've noticed when looking at some artists' streams, I've been looking at like a lot of Twitch artist streams lately, just hopping in while I'm like doing the series and stuff like that. You know what? This hand, I'm actually gonna go ahead and do like I'm gonna do a draw over, so I make it a little bit more accurate. I noticed a lot of them are a lot less like streamy, if you know what I'm saying. Like gamers typically try to be really active and stuff like that. I noticed a lot of the artist ones are more like chill and not as streamy. And I've noticed like ever since I started streaming, I've always been more of a streamy artist, where I try to have a little bit more action in my stream, like a little bit more enthusiasm, I guess you would say. And I think a lot of that had to do with my YouTube channel, to be completely honest. Because most artists, like when they go to stream, they haven't like done like videos and stuff where they try to talk really fast in it to try to, because you know you have to have retention on YouTube, and you end up having to learn how to talk at a decent speed instead of slow like this. Because if you talk slow like this, a lot of the time you'll lose people's attention, depending. I don't know. Thought it was interesting. Just looking at people's different styles of streaming. Because I actually really like the chill streams, too. I have nothing against them. And by the way, I'm typically on almost any stream. On almost any stream, I'm a lurker. I'll sit there, and no one knows I'm there. And I know that's the case also with like a lot of people in streams. Like for example, the comments are going pretty slow compared to having 140 people in here. They are going pretty slow, which is totally fine. Is your webcomic behind a paywall? No. And if it is, how much? No. No, it's not behind a paywall. It's going to be free to read. It's going to be on Voice Me, by the way. Just like all their web comics on there, they're all free to read. Ooh, my leg. How to not forget what you draw. So you're talking about basically retaining the information that you've learned or you feel like you've learned. That is just repetition. You learn something, you're going to have to do it again. You feel like you forgot it, you're going to have to do it again, and you have to relearn it. And then there's going to be a point in time, just like walking, where if you do it enough of times and you get it right all those times you're practicing it, there's going to be a time where you don't forget it. It's just a matter of repetition. But you want to make sure when you're doing it correctly. These hands look like 50-year-old hands. These sausage finger lady hands. What is going? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's just continue going here. Sausage finger lady hands. Let's go, guys. Let's go. I can't believe I've been on this one panel for 56 minutes. This is I did panels way faster earlier. It really is stream. It really is just being on stream. Really need to learn how to have a good balance. Okay, how far is that? Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Move this back over here. I don't want it to be too far over. Why do I have to do it like that there? All right. Alright, I want to grab this. I'm actually going to slightly enlarge it. We're going to move it over this direction slightly so it's more accurately placed like the other one. And how that good now. Gonna go here, do a bit of cheating. That's a weird sound. I meant to go oop, not oh. Alright, that should be all right there. Alright. I am still amazed at how this man can ink chicken scratch from Sketch. No. Nah, those people are much better than me. Oh, Voice Me like God Game by Brandon. And also the artist Third. But yes, God Game from Voice Me. They look like corn dog hands, and I am not denying that. Oh, man. See, this is a point where I obviously need to do some hand practice. Yeah. The more hand practice you do, you end up getting like a good variation of knowing how, like, what to do with like women hands compared to like men hands. And I mean, I know, but it's hard to do sometimes. I mean, people would be like, okay, I mean, holding a sword. Man, you'd be surprised. You think the the pointer finger would be the one that comes over the most. No, when it comes to holding a sword, it's not. The finger that comes over when you're holding a sword the most is actually the pinky finger, from what I know. Oh my gosh, these things look like freaking sausages. We're gonna try to... And I can't just look up women hands for this and just make a big correction. It's gonna a little bit more than that. I need to stop making them so thick, really. Making them a little thinner towards the tips. I know. That's not gonna work. If the sword's right there. Because of the way I drew it, so... Who is your idol mangaka? The mangaka that inspired me the most throughout just my whole life is probably Kishimoto. Masashi Kishimoto. Is she wearing gloves? No. Let's just say she's wearing fingernail human flesh looking gloves. If you look up how to draw women hands, you're going to get a lot of different things. I could do that right now, but it's like, it's not going to, I would have to sit there and do like a few practices or something. Oh, my dog's barking. Oh gosh. So my dog lately has been thinking like she has to bark at everything. Or like she hears a little sound that's literally nothing and she just barks at it and you're like, no one is round. Yep, there she goes. She acts like she's fierce, but she is not. Not even a little bit. I'm not agreeing with this hand. This is a horrible hand too. Women hands tend to be a lot less knobby and a lot less thick with the fingers, and I know this, but I'm not doing it. Not to mention I don't really like the way she's holding this sword. It looks really bad. I'm probably gonna have to fix this hand, but I want to keep moving on. Keep moving forward. $147 people in here. Good to see everyone. Are you like a big consumer of manga and anime? Not really lately. I used to be a big consumer, but not as much lately. Can I just go back and fix the hands later? Yeah, probably will do that. What do you think of NFTs? I don't know. I think they're going to have a place in the future, but I think the way some of it's going right now is kind of strange. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't like some of it's like really money grabby stuff, but I think it is going to have a really big place in the future with the digital space and having one of a kind type of content. It's going to be like having a novel version of, or having an original painting version of digital work. In the future, the more and more physical goes away, NFTs will probably be the thing that come around to taking that place. But right now, it's in a very weird weird space. It's just like all these like super rich people trying to get even more rich, and I don't know, it's kind of strange. I don't know what to think about it. I don't know. It's definitely going to have its own place, though. But I don't know if I'm going to do anything with it right now. Because okay, let's put it this way. Most of the people who are getting in on it aren't like real artists. And some of them who are, I don't like blame them, but a lot of the people are just like people who aren't actually artists, and they're just trying to create like some NFT industry thingy that might become the next big thing, or be around long enough to kind of like be like the Facebook that took over MySpace type of thing. Like, I don't know. A lot of the people are like big people behind corporate stuff that are like CEOs of things that are just trying to jump in on the hype, not like the lonely little artist out there. Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to get at. You're better off going with like commissions and stuff. Yeah, it's not about the art; it's about the money. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Once physical starts taking a huge step back in the next few years, in the next 10 years, there's going to be a huge difference in how much physical is actually sold. Um, NFTs will start having their own place. They will. I actually need to plug in this iPad. But like I said, right now it's not like there's not anything that I personally, because I haven't really like been jumping in on it. Yeah, I don't know. Plus, a lot of the NFT stuff, the people who are doing it, like they're dumping like millions in. Or it's not like I said, like people like us would have what, like max like $100, $200, like $20. Be better off gambling. No, I'm kidding. Don't gamble, people. Oh, not now. Okay, there we go. Something was popping up on my screen. Yeah, people are even buying for the art or what it could be worth. Yeah. And one of the things that really make a lot of us artists mad, like that have a slightly bigger following, is it's okay. It's like the new version of selling prints, but it's just not physical. And guess what's been happening? People have been taking people's illustrations and then selling NFTs of them, just like people have taken my art and started selling prints of them when it's not their stuff. So it's become a very big way to, like for example, who knows what the NFT market is like in another country, and I don't go on their sites, and then guess what? Someone could be selling my art in some other country as an NFT. I know a friend that had someone that took their art and made the figure of it and then started selling a figure of their artwork, their character, in another country. They're selling, yeah, it is, and it's hard to know because you don't live there. And then how do you chase after this company? I mean, like if you're a smaller artist, you can't. I mean, even if you have like millions of followers, it would be hard. Hmm. Now, as for NFTs, I would say that it's not a bad idea to educate yourself about it. So that's something to keep in mind. Like educating yourself, always being educated is good. I am not educated about it, but if it's something you feel like you should educate yourself about, go ahead and do it. Knowledge is power. This is a horribly slow panel. Cheese, man. You say cheese there, Gromit? Cheese, Gromit, cheese. Sorry, sometimes I cover my mouth when I draw for no reason. I don't know why I'm apologizing to you guys. Screw you. No. Check chat here in a second. Maybe try to cut in a little bit more over here. There I go doing it again, covering my mouth. Bam. Alright, let's go with that. Actually, I'm going to take this and I'm going to grab that part, come up here, boom. I'm actually going to pull this a little further down. I think that should be alright. Alright. I've got 148 people in here. Good to see everyone. Well, that's why I don't agree with NFTs, surely. There should be some other way to do this. Yeah, I don't know. There'll be some sort of thing that pops up for sure. Love the anime girl. Thank you. I want to draw manga and I would like people to read them and enjoy them. Not mint them? NFTs shouldn't be big because I have seen a lot of people that steal art. It's easy to know if you put the image to Google on there. Yeah, I don't know, man. What did you start digital art? Probably, when? I read it as what? So I started digital art, I don't know, a few years ago. I got into it with the graphics tablet, hated that, still did it, but I hated it because I just did not like the idea of drawing here and looking up here. So I didn't like that, did traditional for a while, and then eventually got the iPad and it changed everything. So then I started doing pretty much all digital. Better. I'm not going to do the sword right now because I don't have I have like a PNG that I put in, and then I like 3D to sort out. And I don't have the PNG on this. So we might end up just... Alright, let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. I don't know if I have it here. Do I have it here? I think I have it here. Rough. I don't have the exact pressure sensitivity for these. Dang. I might have to wait to do these sound effects on my other iPad. Yeah, I might have to wait. Because I'm trying to hire a manga artist. Are you interested? No. Sorry. I'm actually working on... This is actually for a company that we're going to be going weekly. So I wouldn't even be able to do any types of commissions like that if I wanted to. Especially a long-term commission. Not to say I wouldn't open up normal commissions, but there's no way I would be able to do that. Sorry. This is very bad. Okay, let's just move on to this page. Okay, let's go here. Boom, boom, boom. And my brain is going out right now. I think it's because I'm hungry. I'm not eating that much today. Oh. Gotta get a better... Whoa. We've been going for an hour and 18 minutes. Interesting. Are you going to be published? Going to publish in Japanese style 17 pages a week? No, it's going to be 50 panels a week, which, if you were to break that down, it's like 12 to 14 pages of manga a week, I would have to say. It's like 13 to 17 almost pages. Because if you were to say like a page might be 5 panels a page roughly, you know, it roughly, like sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. So, but yeah, it's gonna be almost like a schedule like that. And it's not only me working on it. There's 2 colorists, an inker, and a writer. Now, as for the people, those people working on it, I do have an Instagram post for everyone who is working on it. If you're interested in seeing the other people working on it, there are links to all of their Instagrams on that post. I just want to let you know that, so that way you can, if you wanted to check them out, because I don't want to, every time I like mention that there's more people working on the project, I don't want to have to mention everyone's name. The staff for this manga are stacked. Yeah, it's true. Do I have a list of equipment I use? Um, for like just for drawing, not like streaming and stuff. As for drawing, not particularly. I have like a. You can use really any pencil digitally, and I use like the G Pen with specific settings for what I prefer. As for like actual equipment, I use like the tablet and stuff. I use the iPad Pro, 2022 model, 2021 model. Use the 2021 model, and this is actually the 2017 model that I'm using right now, because the 2021 model is actually what I'm using right now to as the camera for you guys to see it. And I use Clip Studio Paint. Man, those hands really are messing with my head right now. If we have time and I'm not like going insane in my head, um, I'll try to actually go ahead and maybe do some like hand practices, especially like women hand practices before we get off, if I'm feeling up to it. Because technically we have this one that I would do, and then we have one more if I did want to do that one. I kind of wanted to do traditional stuff. Maybe I'll go ahead and do the hand practicing traditionally. I don't know. So what does this look like far away? Ooh, I need to actually go ahead and go further in on this. Go in further and in even further. Boom, boom, boom. And let's cheat real quick. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go. How's that look? Sometimes when you know you can actually get it right, I don't recommend doing too many cheats when you're starting off, but I know I could get that right on my own, so just as a shortcut, I'm like, I really need to keep on going, keep on going. Okie dokie. Why did you decide to use Clip Studio instead of Procreate? Because Procreate is not engineered almost from the ground up the way it is for Clip Studio for creating manga or comics. It is very so Procreate is more so originally for painting, and you can kind of see that through like their brushes, but Clip Studio is initially made almost exclusively for comics, but it can do a lot of stuff that it could do everything that Procreate can do. Except for a couple things. There's a couple things that are cool, like the liquefy and the like the instant shape thing. I think that's pretty cool. But in general, you can do everything on Procreate. You can do on here as well. But and you'd be like, well, what do you mean by that? So specifically, if you're doing manga, it's way better in terms of that, because it has templates, or not even templates. Like, let me give you an example here. So let's go to, I'll delete this. So let's go to a random manga page that I have. I have this template I set up for myself. I set this up for myself. Now, watch this. Let's say if I had, let's go ahead and go pencil. Let's do this. Let's say I have a panel here. Let's say this is the gutter. Let's do a panel here, reaching off out to the side. Yeah, let's have it do that, and then we can have this one do this, and then we can go like maybe this, 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 that. So let's say this is a manga page. Let's go a full bottom panel. Yeah, let's just do full bottom panel going straight down like this. And now, when I lighten this up, and I go into, oh, there it is. My manga tools that I've crafted, I can here grab this, boom, boom. I got it. Oh, let me go to black. Boom, boom. We did that. Coolio. Now I'm going to go here and I'm going to pull over this thing. And nope, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Turn that back on. Go ahead, cut right there. Maybe we could go ahead do this, cut right there. Let's do this, cut, straight, up, nope. Let's do this, that. This one is then boom, 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 boom. And then we can go here, up, go down to the bottom panel, down, and boom, I have all of these manga pages, manga panels set up, and I can take that away. Now, that was very fast. I really like this. But, yeah, that's one of the really cool things. You also got speed lines and all that stuff. There's just things in here that make it super easy. And I am going to do this. There we go. Do not save. Okay. Yeah. That's just one of the things. And also it's this side thing over here for the Pro version. You can actually look at all the pages you've done. I'm going to scroll through really fast here. You can look at all the pages you've done off to the side like that, which is a really cool feature for the Pro version, in my opinion, because you can scroll through your pages so much easier. And then on top of that, there's bubbles, there's screen tones. So manga specifically, I do use Procreate for sketching sometimes, and I also use it for painting. I like to paint on there much more than I like to paint on Clip Studio. Also, Clip Studio has an asset store that you can actually get cool pens that you might like, and like effects and certain things like that. Essentially, it's like a manga-made version of Photoshop. That's how I'd put it. Photoshop is like a blank template where you would have to find everything and craft it to look exactly how you want it to and have everything. Like, it's really overwhelming compared to when Clip Studio is overwhelming at first, but the tools are going to make a lot more sense once you start actually getting into it. Not to mention, I guarantee there's a lot more how to like make manga pages in Clip Studio on YouTube than there is for Photoshop. So many people just use Clip Studio for like comics and stuff. It's a bad habit that I don't like doing, zooming in and out. I need to get rid of that. I used to not do that. Bad habits coming back. You can do that in Procreate, haha. I don't know what you're talking about. Unless you're talking about the whole panel setup, that's pretty crazy. That would be a new feature I didn't know about, because I haven't worked on there like with manga pages in a while. So if there are features like this, you can let me know. I actually made my own manga like paneling brush before. Cool, 12 pages a week. You're almost as fast as David Finch. I think he can draw 14 pages a week, but he slows down if it's every day. Like, he can draw 22 pages in a month. Do you have the same problem? Yeah, and David Finch's stuff is more detailed too, so Of course, yeah. It's like burnout. You start slowing down because you're like putting so much pressure down on yourself. Is the sidebar stuff in Clip Studio Pro or EX? Ooh. Uh, you might want to look that up a little bit more, but I think it's Pro. Because Pro would be the more expensive one, right? Like, I wish I had something over here telling me which one I had, but I don't think I do. Whichever one has the extra features is the one that is gonna have it. And it's not like super essential, but if you're gonna work a lot on manga pages and you're gonna be doing it fast and you want to go through pages easy, it's super beneficial in my opinion because you're gonna be hopping and hopping and hopping around. So like, uh, let me do this and do that. I don't want you to see too many of those panels. Alright, I'm going to put up Bounty's Gate here. Kind of to show you what I mean, how nice it is to hop between pages. Like when you're looking at them as like full pages. Like if I click on this one, hop to that one, and then I throw this off to the side like this, and I like make them even smaller. And then I can make them even smaller if I wanted. But now they're off to the side like that, and I could be doing something here, then I hop to the next page. Boom, we got the next page up. I think it's super beneficial to have this stuff around. And you could just go back and forth between pages. Super nice. It's a flow thing that can really... Why I have to name it one? It's a flow thing that I'm gonna actually not show you guys this, at least. Alright. There we go. Trying to center this. A little bit more. Okay. Got 127 people in here and 285 likes. Thank you very much. Hey Kuzo, wanted to introduce myself. My name is Jose Farinad. Okay, I'm gonna butcher her name. I'm not gonna say it. Sorry. Anyways, I'm an artist on a samurai no Toro, working with Brandon Chen as well. Wanted to say hi and that your stuff is badass. Well, thank you very much. That's awesome. You're also working with them. That's cool. It's cool. Samurai no Tora is the project you're working on with Brandon Chen. Awesome. Well, nice to meet you. Kind of meet you. Meet you through chat. How do you draw figures in perspective? That's a very broad question, but it's essentially learning how to draw simplified versions of the anatomy and then being able to draw those simplified shapes in perspective, and then you'll be able to draw those figures. But from there, in order to make them feel more organic, you're going to want to learn some gesture stuff. and overall, like the balance of the human body. Like if someone's standing there leaning on one leg, what happens to the other side of the body and the other leg? Those are like little things that you could learn, which is also a part of learning kind of gesture. So gesture's kind of broad in my opinion. When you say gesture, like what the point of it is. Um, I feel like gesture has several points. But in general, I feel like gesture is like learning the natural flow of the human body. But it could also be pushing that natural flow too, uh, to kind of push the pose and make it even more animated. So I feel like it does have several purposes. Finding that natural flow, I think, is the biggest purpose. Oh man, I have to draw both of them. Ooh. That's the easier one because I don't have to connect it on the other side perfectly. Ooh. Oop. Ooh. Dang it. Ooh. Good. You know, not bad. I would have to say not too shabby. That was kind of difficult in my opinion. Alright, now let's go do this because I feel like it might be a little bit too not wide enough. I think that works. That's one little thing I do not like, is when I flip the page, it like throws me to the middle of this page. It's kind of annoying. Fix it, Clip Studio. Fix it. I'll show you what I mean when I flip it back. That seemed a little bigger than the other one. Yeah, it seems like you could poke out a little bit more here, but I think we could pass. Watch. I flipped it, bam, it threw me to the middle of the page. Watch, I'm gonna zoom out. Threw me to the middle of the page. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okie dokie, let's see what people are saying. Just got off work. Glad to see you're still streaming. Awesome to hear, Jay. Glad to see you're off work. Hopefully you're going to have a good rest of your night or day, wherever you live. Gesture train you mangekyo. That's super useful. How do you find the face ratio of your drawing study? I think you asked that before. That like someone said that exact thing earlier. I don't know if it was you or not, but I quite literally explained the way I typically find face ratios, and it's this triangle method. That's how I find the face ratio, and I know typically I can internalize a little bit of being like, this is where the eyes are, this go down, this is the placement of the mouth, and then the nose might go in the middle. Now you can break down someone else's ratio and find out where their nose lies. Is it a little bit towards the bottom, top, whatever, and you can find out the ratios through that. That's how I do ratios. If you're going to do it more measured out, that's going to be the way I learned how to do more measured out facial ratios is actually from going and learning realism, because realism typically, in order to learn the planes of the face, they have really useful methods to measuring out face, like the face stuff. Like when they go to measure out face planes, there's a lot of different face plane like ways to do face planes, but like this is the nose ridge. Got nose. Come down here. Boom, 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 boom. So you want to find out facial ratios. This is also another way to just in general learn. I learned this specific one from this looks very like whoa, but if you were to take this like measuring the way they measure stuff here, you could figure out facial ratios from this. Not to mention you could take this directly into a painting if you really wanted to. And yes, I did learn how to do like somewhat more realistic faces and slight painting studies, and I did a lot of it when I started learning like more so realistic faces. I did most of them traditionally, and I used it as value in pencil because it's easier to learn the planes of the face like that, so you're not focusing on coloring. Coloring is just distracting. Coloring is just based on color theory. Value is actually what color theory goes over. All right. Oh. This is very lopsided. Yes, I went ahead and drew this on a different layer so I can come down and quickly just pop this out. So I can pop. There we go. We've been going an hour and 44 minutes. Ooh, dang. It was a cool face for an old character in a manga or even a superhero. Yeah, it's one of those like super traditional like facial shapes that it's very generic, and it's just meant for you to learn the generalized facial shape, and then once you know how to draw that one, you can kind of go on to like older facial shapes, and you start seeing like just the more I did those types of studies, the more I started understanding different facial shapes. It's really funny when someone tells me I have same face syndrome or something like that, and I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, I'll take it, whatever. Because they only see what I want to do, and what I do, like I draw what I want to draw, and a lot of the faces are very similar, and it's what I do. But I could draw their faces. It's like you just do different ratios, you know. Drink water. I don't have water, I have coffee. By the way, for the color theory thing, I would recommend just looking up color theory on YouTube. Trust me, that's where I learned it, and they'll teach you some things with the color wheel and basic color theory things that you could work with that helped me. That's where I looked it up. Same with value. If you look up value, you'll find some value stuff. Like I practiced some of it from early Proco stuff. Oh no, that's gonna go. Actually, it's gonna appear right here at least. Twelve six. Oh, yeah. I'm starting to get a little out of it. I was thinking about when I started drawing. I started drawing. I've been drawing like 10 hours today. That's why I'm a little out of it right now. That's why I'm just kind of like, oh no, blah, 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 blah. See, the zoom in thing, bad habit. Don't zoom in. Don't zoom in, Kuzo. Go slow and just actually go accurate. Sometimes when you start slipping, when you've been doing it long enough, you start, like, bad habits start slipping in. You gotta remind yourself, hey, gotta do a little better. Gotta slow it down. Same face is not a problem if you can draw different eyes, different hair and eyes. All my female characters have the same face because I like that face and it's my drawing. I do what I want. True, but there is also something to be said. That is true, and just like I said as well. But there is something to be said if you're creating like a series, you don't want all of the characters to have the same type of face. So there is something to be said as you like go forward and you try to be a little bit more conscious of it, you know? But yeah, for sure. Have you ever been in a convention? Nah. I mean, I've been to a convention, but I haven't been there as an artist. Is that your full-time job? Pretty much. Do you play any video games? I play only Soulsborne games. Or Souls-like games. I tried playing God of War. The last one. The one that's like more Norse. And it was cool and really cinematic, but it started getting really old for me. I just really like the play style of Soulsborne game, like Souls-like games. It's just I found out I never really liked video games all that much. They're fun. They had a place in my childhood in their own way. But I found out I'm just a junkie for that type of play style, so. With Bloodborne, I have easily sunk more than 1,000 hours into that. Wow, 10 hours. 10 hours, 4 hours is my limit in a day. Last year was less than an hour. Yeah, and that can happen. You can like go up higher and higher with how long you draw per day. There is a point where there's diminishing returns, but when you actually have to get work done, there's nothing you can do about it, and you have to kind of learn to be able to keep the quality up while still pushing yourself that far. And it's something that you have to learn to do, because there's points where you're going to have to make deadlines. I feel like maybe this can actually show, like, it could go like this and then go like this and then maybe show a little bit like that right here. Yeah, that feels right. Yeah, that feels good. I like that. All right, and I keep on zooming in and out. So you must love Elden Ring then. Yes, I play Elden Ring. I've been actually taking my time with it. Doesn't your back hurt when you're drawing for 10 hours? I specifically try to have my iPad in the other room. Like here, yes, it would hurt, but in the other room with my actual drawing desk, I have my iPad on a little incline, so that way I'm not leaning over, so it doesn't hurt as much. Not to mention, I take like a 5-minute break every like few hours. Take a 5-minute break, lay down or something. You can even walk, but can you show your dog? Yeah, I'll try to show her at the end of the night, at the end of the stream, because my foot, I can actually slightly walk more now. So. Have you ever seen an anime like that? There was one face, but it made up the hairstyle and maybe some jawline changes. Like K-On? K-On's kind of like that. They all have very similar face styles. But I like their face styles. Okay, so this part actually goes down into a different section here. It's covered up by something. So I'm not sure how much of this I need to draw, but I don't want to show what is below. I can't do that to be spoiler. So I think I'm going to leave that one there. And I think we're going to hop over to this one real quick. Now I'm just going to do this. What anime is my best inspiration? No specific anime is my best inspiration, but Masashi Kishimoto is probably my biggest inspiration to become an actual, like, comic manga artist. Deadlines are my main issue at the moment. Yeah, true that, Luis. What brush is that? This is the G pen. Well, it's actually called mapping pen, but it's essentially the G pen, and it has some like altered. It's just altered to my liking. You can typically go into this section here and go here and then click this little ratchet icon and it will bring up this. Oh, no, actually that's super deep settings. Sorry, my bad. You can click that, the 2 check marks right next to this, and it will give you like all these different these different options. This is my pen settings, but yeah, that's how you can like super customize your pens. Sorry, my screen is a little laggy compared to what I'm actually doing, so it takes me a second to like reposition this. That's why I don't like moving it. I like your style. How did you learn it? Who are your influences? I learned it by just merging the things that I really like together, but the biggest way to actually learn style is by learning how, just getting good at drawing. That's the best thing you could do. Learn the fundamentals, everything like that, because when you learn the fundamentals, you can then be able to actually understand what style is. Even if someone tells you what style is and you try to create your own style before you know enough of the fundamentals, it's not going to make sense, and you'll think you're going to, it's just, you're going to be wasting your time, to be honest. That's why a lot of artists say you find your style by not looking for it, because by not looking for it, you focus on everything else. Because, like, for example, learning the fundamentals and stuff will allow you to be able to understand how to find the ratio of a face and everything like that, and the form of the face. And then when you understand ratios and forms, you can then go ahead and try to figure out style, because style goes from ratio, form, inking style, painting style, the type of colors you use, the type of hatching you use. Like, there's so much that could be different, you know, that actually makes up style. That was pretty. That's a pretty bad eyebrow. They're supposed to be thick, but that was. No. Thought I hit this. Oh my gosh. So, I'm actually supposed to be looking this direction. This direction. Okay. There we go. Let's see what people are saying. Yo, do you watch Attack on Titan? I've watched a lot of it. Yeah, I don't think I've watched the last season. What are the basic fundamentals? Basic fundamentals are basically perspective, form, value, color theory. Those are your fundamentals. 4. Because perspective is what allows you to draw simplified shapes and even understand the concept of form. Because the simplified shapes are basically simplified versions of what form is. So perspective is the foundation to everything, and then once you know how to do form and stuff and simplified shapes, you can go into more complicated versions of form, such as, you know, let's do some weird like shape here. And I have a form video I actually put up, so on my channel. This is form. It's a more complicated version of a cube. Rectangular prism, for those people who would be like, that is not cube. But yeah, like that. And then from there, you can learn how to color over this, which is what value would be considered. Value would be considered. I like going like this. Stop it. Let me click on it. Let me click on stuff. But value is also based on lighting too. So value is basically you learning how to color lighting without light. I should have made this brush color black. But I'm imagining that the light is coming from up here. And And then color theory is what actually goes technically over this, but yes. Yeah, he has a main channel. Yeah, I have a main channel. It's called Kuzomari. Link will be in the description. I also have a Patreon if you are one of those people that like to do that stuff, or if you have the funds for that. There's a lot of more in-depth tutorials on there, and like over 30 anatomy sheets and stuff like that. So speaking of which, I need to do an updated I know I've said this. I need to do an updated version of Perspective on there. Although I basically gave the most the simple rundown of that on my main channel of 1, 2, and 3 point perspective on Learn How to Draw Anything Part 1. Got 132 people in here. Good to see everybody in. Too broke, no Patreon for me. It's all good. It's all good. I just give it out as an option for those people who have the money. I'm not. It doesn't really matter. You can learn a lot of stuff on your own on YouTube. Just you got to look it up. You got to take initiative and go ahead and actually search the things up. A lot of it you can figure out by just searching value, perspective, or fundamentals to drawing. I actually, one of my biggest videos is Learn How to Draw Anything. I actually have a series like that, but it's the first one I made was big because I basically broke down what those fundamentals were and why they work the way they do and why it actually helps you. And I actually did that video originally because I didn't understand that when I was trying to learn how to draw, and I avoided these things for too long, and I could have been way better than I am now at this, point time in my life. So it's yeah. That's why I wanted to share it with people. And that video ended up going pretty big. People liked it. Because it's true. Alright, so this is not exactly how I sketched it out here. Is this gonna look okay? Let me see. Okay, let's do this from afar to make sure we're getting this. Do you have a Discord server? Not yet. I am going to have a Patreon exclusive Discord server though. Save, but Christopher said to get in a save. I'm not sure what you meant there. I watched Jazza for some tips actually, and I like his vids. It's fun. Yeah, I've watched Jazz before. Jazza. Yeah. Push past your limits and go beyond. Let's look around here. there is good free resources out there. Just takes a minute to find them. Yeah, there is a lot out there. People with thick eyebrows look intense and usually can't make a lot of friends, but they are usually shy and soft-hearted, but they can't show emotions because they think they have an image to keep. I don't think that's completely true. I think that's almost like the big eyebrowed woman stereotype. For men, typically they're just nice and brute. But I get what you're saying. I've seen women character with that exact character trait with big eyebrows. What is this? Like 70s? No, the 50s? Let's go forward here. What facial expression is the hardest to draw? I don't think any specific facial expression for me is the hardest to draw. I think different facial shapes can be harder to draw in different angles than others. Just takes longer to get them out because you got to think a little harder. But I don't really have too many problems with too many facial shapes. I mean facial expressions. Actually, I think on the last video I gave a tiny little rundown of like facial expressions. You know, I should probably get this in here first. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be putting like I don't know if I have it at the right size again. Darn it. The heck? Where am I going? Oh, there. I think this is the right size. Don't know. I can always change it on my other iPad if I have to. Oh. There we go. Are you using Clip Studio Paint? If so, which one is better, the Pro or the whichever one has the better, like the higher features? I think it's the Pro version. Um, there's not a huge difference. The Pro version, I think it is the Pro version that, I mean, it's called Pro, so it has to be a better version. The Pro version has this little side panel thing that is really cool, in my opinion. You can click on your pages and go to different pages and stuff like that. So I like really quickly, and I find that extremely useful in my case. Do you struggle with perfection like other artists do? Yes, in my own way. I used to struggle with it a lot more. Not saying I'm near perfection or anything, but I have kind of tried to let go a little bit of that and try to focus on just doing work. Um, I used to basically I used to be to the point where I beat myself up a lot, and I learned to not do that as much. So you have to be critical of yourself, but not be so critical that it almost like, because I know what it's like, sitting there being like, man, you see these other artists and you're like, man, they're so good, this and that, and you're like, oh, I need to get better, I'm so stupid, this and that, and then you start talking bad to yourself. See, that worked for me for a while because I was a very intense person when I was younger. A lot more relaxed now. Was a very intense person. It was like always, it was either 0 or 100, and I was always like 100. It's like, you always have to do better. You always have to do better. I think there's a point where even when you start accepting a little bit of where you are, you don't want to get too comfortable though. Uh, that's something I need to make sure that doesn't happen because I want to still stay hungry, But I've tried to work to be in a healthier place in my mind. Because what used to be a drive for me ended up becoming like self-deprecate. It was just bad eventually. Oh yeah, that's right. Dang. Oh yeah. There's a few things here that I'm missing. That's why that looks so weird. I remember I actually have to fix one of these because I forgot them in an ink for one of the colors, and they let me know. Actually need to go and fix that on theirs. These muscles aren't like super accurate. I should have honestly looked at some muscles while I was drawing these, but I mean they're close enough for now. All right, I kept on zooming in and out, but it is what it is. Let's turn off this sketch. I believe it is. Yeah, it's all right. Could be better, but not every panel can be a banger. Oh, you're the guy who draw that cool anime on shorts I thought you were a Japanese. I thought you were Japanese. LOL. Impressive skill. Thank you very much. I actually know what you're talking about. One of my shorts on here went like over 1 million views. Yeah, that's actually funny that happened. That you're like, oh, you're the guy that drew that short. Yeah, that's my. I actually didn't expect it. It was so weird. It just kind of popped off, and I was like, what is going on? Like, I was like, why am I getting so many subs on this channel? And then all of a sudden, like, I looked at that, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's why. One of my videos, my shorts, just randomly hit 1 million, and I posted it like months ago. I was like, what the? Okay. The stream won't be going too much longer, but we're going to go ahead and do that hand practice only because it kind of makes me mad. Oh my gosh, I'm clicking on everything else but what I need to click on my phone. Okay, let's go. Like I said, been drawing for like 10 hours. So let's don't just draw without thinking. It's very easy to do that towards the end of like a very long session. You just kind of like. What do I want to do? Let's do. Hello, what's up, Koshin? He's using an iPad Pro. Yeah, I was using an iPad Pro. Dog says burp. Yeah, I do. Okay, I gotta remember to do the dog. I gotta remember to bring in the dog. I mean, towards before the end of the stream, or at the end of the stream, I should say. Okay, so hand, thumb, 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 wedge. Wedge thumb, wedge thumb, wedge thumb. Let's draw really light here, actually. Let's just. Do I have any markers over here? I do. I can do this. Hand grabbing sword. Interesting. This is what I'm getting on Google here. Hand grabbing sword. I'll have this off to the side. This is what I'm talking about. So these are drawings, which aren't necessarily that accurate. Okay. That's a good one. Because I think that's actually based off an actual hand. See, this is what I was talking about. So this is an actual person holding it. This is what I was talking about when I said that. By the way, I thought that was Pinterest. So this finger, you would sometimes you go to draw it with the pointer finger longer. It's not. Okay, so I was wrong. So the pinky should actually. So these two fingers are the longest when it's holding something like that. Oh yeah, it's pretty true. Yeah. Okay. What about this one then? So this one's interesting. So this hand is going around long enough Honestly, that seems very stiff the way they're holding. Like, sorry, I'm just studying this stuff here. It's kind of weird. We started like averaging more people once I started doing hands. It's funny. Okay. See, I'm wondering if I should start doing like videos like this, where I was thinking about doing short videos, like drawing how I draw hands holding swords or something like that, and kind of draw like stuff, like do a video like that on the main channel, because I've gotten to the point where it's like I've done videos on how to draw heads in any angles. I've done videos on how to draw anime eyes. I've done all these videos, and they're already out there. Um, but instead started focusing on shorter, like not shorter, but still keep them around like 10 minutes. Like, you know, more simple videos of more specific things. But they're going to be very niche topics, and it's like I don't want to drive away like the main viewers. I don't know, man. This is what's so hard about that stuff. Oh, I just started drawing the arm. Or you could have done this and put in an elbow here and then had the arm go this way as well. Okay. Okay, so I want to go ahead and look at this and go... Doesn't have to be exactly like that. I'm just trying to get... why can't my brain move correctly? It was like, which way does line go? Ooh, that is very off-center. Bad. Okay, let's go ahead and cover this up. Let's take the yellow, actually. Come in with the yellow. Can you guys see the yellow a little? Yeah, you guys can see the yellow a little. I could have done the pencil. Would have been a little dirtier. I kind of wanted to... And this is actually a woman's hand, too, so that's actually kind of nice. Because we're for those of you who may have come in just recently, we're having a hard time with... Okay, I was drawing the hands decently correct. They just looked like sausage man hands, okay? Okay? Sausage man hands. And it was a chick. Okay, so this is coming here. That's what the thumb is doing. So we're actually... Interesting, okay. But we're doing the bottom of this here. Alright. I don't think I drew the last finger. Don't make them sausagey. Don't make them sausagey. So they're a little bit pointier towards the end. Pointier, pointier. Think pointy. Think pointy. Okay, starting to look a little bit more feminine. That's okay. We're on the right track here. We're on the right track. Okay, whoever's been here since the sausage fingers, you gotta say, this does look better. Of course, we're looking at reference, but I'm not using this as... I'm trying to learn from this so I can go and do it correctly on mine, because it's not even... This isn't even the same angle, but I'm trying to learn the general... lesson of what we're trying to learn here. Okay. So one good thing to remember with swords is when they're holding a weapon, say this is the thumb, when they're holding a weapon, this finger, the pointer finger, is much smaller. The other two fingers are a little bit more predominant, and then the pinky finger goes back down and becomes less prominent again. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. For some reason, I think I was thinking about something else. Yeah. Way better. Yeah. right? So another thing I kind of learned is maybe female hands are going to be a little bit more. Well, it's not like I didn't know this. It's just for some reason it just wasn't registering in my brain. They're going to be a little thinner towards the tips of the fingers. Okay, yeah. See, this looks a little bit more feminine. It's not a perfect hand. I'm just trying to like work some stuff out here. All right. This is the wedge. Wedge. Down. There, a little bump. Boom. That looks very weird. Peanut fingers, but it looks good. A lot better. Used to make every finger long. All right, I think I might be ending the stream here. Let me go see if I can get the doggo up in here real quick. She hasn't been shown in a while. Doggo coming. Give me just a moment. Come here, girl. Oh gosh, she's too big. She's too big. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Doggo. Doggo. Don't hit the iPad, girl. Doggo. Oh. No, look towards the camera. Look up here. Look up here. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, she's a little cutie. Oh. Oh. Oh, she's a little gremlin. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna let you down because you're huge. Oh. She's not that big, but gosh, she just slid off my leg. See you later. See you later, Jockner? See you later. Yeah. She's a little cutie. What's her name? Her name's Mila. But in any case, that was the doggy showcase. But in any case, I'll see you guys in the next stream and the next YouTube video. In any case, hopefully you guys have a good day or night wherever you live. And I'll see you then. Peace out.